My name is Maria. I am 26 years old. I live in a big city. I work as an artist. I paint small pictures. I paint flowers on shop walls. I paint signs for windows. The work is hard. The money is very small. I live alone in one small room. My room has one bed, one chair, and a small table. I have one small fan. In summer, it is very hot. I have no family. My parents died many years ago. I have no brothers or sisters. I have no friends. Some nights, I feel very lonely. Sometimes I cry, but every morning I get up. I go to work. This is my life. It is quiet. It is hard. But I keep going. One cold morning, I painted a cafe window. My clothes were wet from rain. My hands were very cold. I was almost done with the painting when a man walked into the cafe. He had gray hair. He wore a long black coat. He looked about 65 years old. He walked slowly and sat at a table near the door. He looked at the rain outside. Then he looked at me. I looked away quickly. I did not want to talk. I finished my painting and cleaned my brushes. The man stood up. He came near me. He smiled. His smile was kind and soft. "You look very tired," he said quietly. His voice was calm. I smiled a little. "It is just a long day," I said. He nodded. "You work very hard," he said. Then he walked away. I felt something strange inside. I had never seen a stranger care like this. The next day, I painted a wall near the same cafe. The same man walked by on the street. He saw me and smiled. I smiled back. He waved his hand to say hello. Then he went into the cafe. Later, he came out and gave me a small cup of hot tea. "This is warm," he said. "You can drink it." I said thank you. His smile was gentle. Then he walked away. I drank the tea. It was sweet and warm. I had never received anything like this before. My heart felt a little lighter. The next day, he came again. He brought tea and bread. "You need to eat," he said. I felt shy. "Thank you," I said. I did not know what to say. His name was Robert. He came every day. He always smiled. He always brought tea or bread. Sometimes, he brought small flowers from his garden. Robert never asked hard questions. He never made me feel afraid. He was always kind. I started to wait for him each day. I looked at the cafe door many times. When he came, my heart felt warm. I did not know why. He was much older than me. He could be my father. But he was gentle. I liked his voice. I liked his eyes. They were warm and kind. One day, he sat with me outside on a chair. He looked serious. "Maria," he said, "I want to talk to you." My hands felt cold and scared. "You live alone," he said. "You have no family. You work hard every day. Life is very hard for you." I looked at my hands. I did not speak. "I want to help you," he said. I looked at him. "Why?" I asked. He smiled a little. "Because I care about you," he said. "And I see you." He stood up. "Please think about what I said," he said. Then he left. That night, I sat in my small room. I looked at my table. I looked at the walls. I thought about his words. No one had ever said they cared about me before. No one had ever looked at me like that. The next day, I was working again. Robert came and gave me a white letter. He did not say much. "Please read this," he said. "Then think about it." He smiled and left. I held the letter for a long time. I was scared. My heart beat fast. That night, I opened the letter. His handwriting was very neat. The letter said he wanted to help me. He said he could pay for my room. He could help with food and work. He said he did not want anything in return, but he said he wanted one thing. He wanted to marry me. My hands started to shake. Marriage. I could not sleep. I sat by my small window. The rain fell outside again. My heart felt heavy. Was he serious? Was this real? I had no family. Life was very hard. My job gave me very little money. And now someone wanted to marry me? Someone wanted to help me? Was this right? I thought about his face. I thought about his kind voice. He had never asked anything from me. He was always nice. But marriage? Was it love? Or just help? The next morning, I did not go to work. I stayed in my room. I read the letter again and again. I walked around my small room. My feet felt cold. My head was full of thoughts. That afternoon, Robert came again. He stood outside the cafe door. His coat was wet, but his smile was the same. I walked to him. I held the letter. I read it. My voice was very quiet. "I will marry you," I said. He did not move. Then he smiled. His eyes were soft and kind. "Thank you, Maria," he said. There was no hug, no kiss, no party, just two people in the rain, two hearts trying to understand. He said we could marry next month, a small wedding, no party, just a paper, a ring, and a promise. That night, I sat on my bed again. I looked at my hands. They felt warm and cold at the same time. I asked myself, did I do the right thing? Will I be safe? Will I be sorry later? The rain fell harder outside. I listened to the sound. I said to myself, time will tell. The next morning, I started to paint again. My hands moved the brush, but my heart was full of thoughts. A new life was coming. A strange life. Maybe a better one? Maybe not. But I had said yes. The wedding day came. I woke up early. My hands shook a little. I wore an old white dress from my closet. I washed it carefully. I ironed it smooth. I tied a white ribbon in my hair. It was simple. It was clean. That was enough. I walked alone to the small building. Robert was waiting outside. He wore a black suit. His coat was neat and dry. He held small flowers in his hands. "Hello?" he said softly. "You look very nice." "Thank you," I said quietly. We walked inside together. There were only 5 people. I did not know them. I think they were his old friends. The man who did the wedding was kind. He smiled. There was no music, no cameras, only quiet. Only our hands, our eyes, and 2 simple rings. Robert said softly, "I will care for you always." "I will try," I said. We put the rings on our hands. The man said we were married. Robert looked at me with soft eyes. "Let us go home," he said. The house was far from the busy streets. It was small but strong. The walls were old. The windows were big. It smelled of flowers and wood. There were many books on the shelves. The chairs looked soft and comfortable. The curtains were thick and red. The air inside felt warm. "This is my house," Robert said. "It is your house too now." That first night, I slept in a new room. The bed was big. The pillow was soft. I could not sleep. I looked at the ceiling. I was not afraid. I was not calm either. Robert gave me space. He did not ask me to do anything. He did not force me. He was kind. He gave me respect. The next morning, I woke up early. I walked to the kitchen. Robert was already there. He had made tea and bread. The smell was sweet. A small cup waited for me on the table. "Good morning," he said. "Good morning," I said softly. We ate quietly. It was not cold. It was soft, gentle, like quiet music. Every day was the same. He made tea. He worked in the garden. I painted small corners of the walls. I helped in the kitchen. We spoke little, but each word was true. One afternoon, it rained. Robert came inside with a box. "This is for you," he said. It was full of storybooks. The books had simple words and pretty covers. "Thank you," I said. I smiled. We started to talk more. I asked him about the garden. He told me about flowers and plants. I asked him about his life. He spoke softly. He had no wife before me. He had no children. He used to work in a bookshop. Now he liked gardening and reading books. I listened to his stories. They were simple stories. No adventures, no travel, but they were kind stories. His voice was gentle. His eyes were soft. I felt calm. I felt safe. One evening, I brought him tea to the porch. The stars were bright. The air was cool. We sat quietly. He said nothing. I said nothing. But I felt safe. Maybe this was not just help. Maybe something new was growing. Something small, something slow. But it was there. The days went by. We worked side by side. We laughed at small mistakes. We shared small meals. Life was soft, slow, and quiet. My heart began to feel lighter. I did not feel small. I did not feel poor. I felt part of something. I felt cared for. One morning, I went to the town market alone. I bought fruit and flour. I smiled at people. They smiled back. Then I heard two women whispering behind me. "She only married him for money," one said. "It is not real love," said the other. Their words hurt. They made me feel shame. But I did not run. I did not hide. I turned around slowly. I looked at them. I did not speak. I walked away. My head was high. I knew the truth. I believed Robert. I believed in us. That evening, I told Robert what happened. He listened. "People talk when they do not know the truth," he said. "But we know the truth. That is enough." I nodded. I felt peace inside. I was not afraid anymore. I was not alone anymore. I felt part of a life that was soft, gentle, and kind. Seasons passed. We worked in the garden together. We made bread together. I painted flowers near our table. We made a small chair for the garden. We sat there many afternoons. Our hands touched. Our hearts stayed open. One morning, I brought him tea in bed. He took my hand and kissed it softly. "Thank you, Maria," he said. "You are light in this house." "So are you," I said. Later, Robert became sick for 2 days. I took care of him. I made soup. I put cool cloths on his forehead. I read books to him. When he slept, I watched him. I felt scared. I felt sure I did not want to lose him. When he felt better, he smiled. "You stayed with me," he said. "Of course I did," I said. I said quietly, "I love you." It was the first time I said the words out loud. He looked at me with water in his eyes. "I love you too," he said. The next day, I painted a new picture. It was of our garden, flowers, a chair, and 2 cups of tea. I gave it to him. He put it near the front door. "We will see this every day," he said. Our love grew slowly, like the flowers in the garden. Not fast, not loud, but deep, strong. I did not feel poor. I did not feel lost. I felt loved. I felt safe. I felt strong inside. One afternoon, we sat together outside. He held my hand. We looked at the sky. "You saved me," he said softly. "No," I said. "You saved me." He smiled. Maybe we saved each other. I knew it was true. What started as a marriage for money became something more. Something real. Something worth keeping. Something beautiful. Days passed quietly. The garden grew green and full of flowers. The air smelled fresh. I painted the little flowers I saw every morning. Robert worked in the garden. Sometimes he sang softly. I watched him from the window. My heart felt warm. I no longer felt lonely. We shared small meals together. I learned to cook with him. I made soup and bread. He made tea and small cakes. We laughed at little mistakes. Sometimes I dropped a spoon. He helped me quietly. He never scolded. He only smiled. I felt happy. One morning, the sky was clear. I walked to the garden. I held my painting. Robert saw me. "It looks beautiful," he said. His eyes were soft. I smiled. I felt proud. I felt loved. Weeks went by. Robert and I shared quiet evenings by the fire. Sometimes we read books together. Sometimes we talked about the garden. He never asked about my past. He never forced me to speak. I told him stories when I wanted. He listened. He cared. That was enough. One rainy day, I stayed by the window. I thought about my life before him. The small room, the empty bed, the cold mornings, the long days of work. Now everything was different. I had warmth. I had safety. I had care. I had love. Robert came with a small box. "This is for you," he said. Inside were tiny gifts, a necklace, a small notebook, and a little flower pressed in paper. I smiled. "Thank you," I said softly. I felt my heart full of joy. Life stayed quiet, but every day had small happiness. I watched birds in the garden. I painted flowers. I helped Robert in the kitchen. We shared tea. We shared bread. We shared smiles. I no longer felt poor. I no longer felt lost. I felt home. One afternoon, we walked in the market. People looked at me. I smiled back. I was not afraid. I was not small. I felt strong. Two women whispered behind us, "She married him for money. It is not real love." I heard them. I turned slowly. I looked at them. I did not speak. I walked away calmly. Robert was near me. He held my hand. I felt safe. I felt understood. That evening, I told Robert about the women. He listened. He smiled softly. People talk when they do not know the truth, but we know the truth. That is enough. Yes, that was enough. I believed him. I believed in us. I believed in the life we shared. Winter came. The air was cold. The fire in the house kept us warm. Robert and I sat together near the window. I made tea. He held my hand. I felt peaceful. I felt happy. I felt loved. One morning, Robert became sick for a short time. I took care of him. I made soup. I put cool cloths on his head. I read books. I watched him sleep. I felt scared. I did not want to lose him. When he smiled again, I felt relief. "You stayed with me," he said. "Of course," I said. "I love you." I had never said those words before, but now they felt real. He looked at me with soft eyes. "I love you too," he said. Spring came. The garden grew flowers of every color. I painted them every day. Robert worked with me. We laughed. We shared tea. We shared bread. Our life was simple. Our life was gentle. One evening, he held my hand. "You are light in this house," he said softly. "So are you," I said. I felt my heart full of warmth. I felt that I belonged. I felt safe. I felt loved. The seasons changed. Our love grew slowly. It was not fast. It was not loud, but it was strong, deep, real. I learned that love could be soft and gentle. Love could grow quietly, like flowers in a garden. I painted a picture of our garden. 2 cups of tea, a small chair, flowers in bloom. I gave it to Robert. He put it by the door. "We will see this every day," he said. Yes, we saw it every day. Each morning, each evening. It reminded us of our quiet life, of the care we gave each other, of the love that grew slowly. One afternoon, we sat outside together. He held my hand. We watched the clouds. The sky was clear. He said, "You saved me." "No," I said softly. "You saved me." We smiled. Perhaps we saved each other. I knew it was true. Life continued in our quiet home. Small days, simple meals, laughter, tea, bread, flowers, painting, reading, walking together. Each moment was soft, gentle, true. Sometimes I thought about my old life, my small room, the cold mornings, the hard work, the loneliness. But now everything was different. I had warmth, I had safety, I had kindness, I had love, I had Robert. One evening, I sat by the window. The stars were bright. I held my cup of tea. He sat near me. We said nothing. But I felt calm. I felt joy. I felt love. The days went by slowly. The life we shared was quiet. But it was real, true, beautiful, not for money, not for duty, but for care, for kindness, for love. I looked at Robert. He looked at me. His eyes were soft. His hands held mine. I felt peace. I felt home. I felt life. I felt hope. Sometimes the best things in life come when we do not expect them. Sometimes help becomes love. Sometimes a quiet life becomes something beautiful, something real, something worth keeping, forever. I whispered softly, "Thank you for saving me." He smiled. "No, you saved me." And I knew it was true. We saved each other. If you enjoyed Maria and Robert's story, don't forget to subscribe to Cozy English Story for more heartwarming stories that help you learn English easily. Click the bell icon to never miss a new story, and leave a comment telling us which part of Maria's journey touched your heart the most.